Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how I made these beautiful little craft embellishments that you can use for flower centers or card making or other craft projects. And I made these out of just regular note cards and Dollar Tree and 99-cent store gemstones. And I'll show you how I put these together. They go pretty quickly, and you can build up quite a stash for yourself and have them available, so when you need one you can just pull from it. So with that said, we'll move on and I'll show you how I made these. Okay, so last week I showed you how to make these little rectangular bases for my icy gemstone pendant keychains. So we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to make 1-inch circles out of these, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your card or your note card from the Dollar Tree, and for each card it will make 6 buttons, 6 of these little buttons, okay? Now if you want to use poster board, you can go ahead and do that too. The poster board at the Dollar Tree, when I felt the thickness, you might be able to get away with punching 3 circles for that instead of 4. These cards are a little bit thinner, but I'm going to punch 4 of these 1-inch circles, just like that. Okay. The next thing you're going to need is some Aleene's Turbo Tacky Glue. And I know I've said this before, but I like the Turbo Tacky Glue over the regular tacky glue because it has more resin in it. So it creates a stiffer bond when this dries. Okay. And then you're going to put this on. Now, when you're punching out your circles, it doesn't matter if you punch it on a part that has print or writing, as long as the white side shows on the front and the very back. That's all that matters. Okay, and I'm just spreading this out to the very edges like that, with an outwards motion. And as you can see, it does kind of curl as you're doing this, but don't worry, because once you put all of this together, you're going to put this down on a flat surface and place a flat heavy book on top. If you don't have a heavy book, you can use several books stacked on top of each other to create a heavy book. Okay, so I'm just going to do this to make sure everything is even. Then I'm going to press it down with the palm of my hand, pick it back up, even it out again, and I am going to place a heavy book on this on a flat surface, and I'm going to allow it to dry for a few hours, and then I'll show you the rest. Okay, so I let this dry for about 8 hours, and as you can tell, it's really hard. Okay, so I just take a little fingernail file and I'm just smoothing out the edges so there won't be any lines that show the separation of the pieces of cardstock that we put together. And it doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. This paper really files nicely. Now when you do that, you're going to see like a little ledge like that, and just do this and it should come right off, see? And you're going to have to do that on both sides. This really doesn't need a lot of sanding, but just a little bit. And then it should be, yeah, that looks good right about there. Okay, Alright, so now I'll show you what we'll do for the next part, but you are going to need some ultra fine glitter. This is Recollections in Champagne that I'm using, but you can also use the silver or any kind of pastel color ultrafine glitter. Okay, so definitely get the ultrafine glitter, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so to make these little buttons, you're going to need some Ranger Glossy Accents. You can pick this up at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. You can also find it online. Just type in the words Ranger Glossy Accents. Okay, and then you're going to need some rhinestones. Now, you can find rhinestones, nice rhinestones, at Walmart. You can find them at the Dollar Tree, like this. And if you don't have a Dollar Tree near you, or they don't carry rhinestones, you can also pick up these beautiful packages of rhinestones at the 99-cent store. And here are just a few that I recently picked up. Like this. They even had some beautiful butterflies. I'm not going to be using that in this project, but I just wanted to show you this because I thought they were so pretty. And they did have more as well, but I just didn't pick them up. And then look how tiny these are. They look like they're maybe about, oh, I don't know, maybe 2 millimeter. I thought that was kind of cool. And here's some more. So I just wanted to show you that. And you're going to need 2 sizes of rhinestones. For the center part, you're going to need either a 10 millimeter, 11 millimeter, or 12 millimeter. Okay? And then for the outside, you're going to need either a 5 millimeter or a 6 millimeter. Okay? So you're going to need 2 sizes. Now with this particular one that I'm doing today, I'm going to be using this right here. This is about a 10 millimeter for the middle. Now it's much easier if you don't have this sticky stuff on the back, but if you do, I just peel it off, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Now I'm going to be using these little Dollar Tree rhinestones for the outside of the circle, and you need about 9 of them. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to take these off the sticky stuff, so I'm just going to peel it like this. Okay, I know that you're not going to be able to get all of the sticky stuff off 100%, but I'm just trying my best. And it, like I said, it's probably be a little easier if you didn't have to do this at all, but there are rhinestones out there without sticky stuff on them. But I'm just showing you how to do this if you decide to pick up the less expensive rhinestones at the Dollar Tree and 99-cent store, because the ones they have there have sticky stuff on the back. You can also pick these up without the sticky stuff on the back at craft stores, but I would definitely use a coupon to save you money. Okay, so let me okay, I have this little rhinestone picker-upper here. This is wax, and I paid, I think, a couple of dollars for this I bought it either on AliExpress or eBay, but I think it was AliExpress. Okay. Alright. First thing you're going to do is open your glossy accents. And you're going to put this on like that. Now make sure that you get the very edges as well. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're going to be placing glitter on here. So just do your best as far as spreading it towards the edges. It's not going to be perfect, but just do your best, okay? Alright. I'm going to set this in the middle. Then I'm going to pick these up and try to set these around it. Just so much easier when you have this. They do have a rhinestone picker-upper tool at Michael's too, in the bead section where all the tools are, but I've never used it. I don't know how it is, or how it works, I should say. But if you have that, then, you know, let me know in the comment section below how you like it. If you don't have one of these, you can also move it around with a little toothpick. And we're just trying to get it even is what we're going to be doing. And you might even have to move this over a little bit in the middle, like that, okay? So as soon as you have these where you want them, you're going to be taking some ultrafine glitter to use as kind of the grout that goes in between the little rhinestones. Make sure that it's ultrafine, okay? And that's the best as far as getting into the little tiny cracks and crevices, okay? And I'm just going to pour this on top. And I'm not going to pick it up or shake it or do anything else to it. Okay, just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to allow this to dry for a full day. And then I'll show you what we'll do next. Okay, so our little button has been sitting here now for, oh, I would say about 8 hours or so. Now I live in a very dry, warm climate, so things tend to dry a little bit quicker here than in the more humid parts of the United States. So I'm taking this very soft brush and just gently brushing this. Make sure the brush is soft. Okay, like that. Now we're not finished. I tend to like to use either the Krylon 18 karat gold leafing pen or the Krylon silver leafing pen right here. And I like to use these two pens to do the edges right here. And I just kind of look at the colors I used and I decide whether it would look better with gold or whether it would look better with silver. So I'm going to shake this pen up. Okay. And these pens last forever. And you can look it up, the pen up, by typing in Krylon 18 karat gold leafing pen. And you should see some pop up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the edges right here. And this is going to give this kind of an organic look. And that's what you're going for. Just like that. And if some of the gold rubs off a little bit on the blue rhinestones around the edges, that's perfectly fine. It'll just add to that organic look that I was telling you about. I didn't want it quite that far. I kind of slipped. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to allow this to dry. And you're going to allow it to dry as long as you would paint. And then I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I put a little bit of alcohol at the end of this Q-tip and I squeezed it out because you don't want anything that's going to drip. And when I was going around with this pen, I accidentally went upwards and made more of a mark than I wanted to on the top of this, and so it did come off when I used this. So this is pretty much it right here. If you want to, you can clean up the rhinestones here and there, but for the most part, I think this looks really good. I really am happy with the way it turned out. And you can make so many of these little beauties for so inexpensive. And you can keep them in your stash. You can use them as flower centers. You can use them when you're making boxes or altering boxes. You can, oh gosh, there's just so many different things. Card making. Now, I didn't put a coat of glossy accents on the back. I would probably do that if you were going to turn this into jewelry, but since you will more than likely be using hot glue on the back of this to apply to your projects, I just didn't bother with it. So I really hope you like this tutorial and that you got a lot out of it, and I hope you give this a try. So with that said, you take care, and God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.